as we head on in over to the draft skin here. We do have imports backpack on the different side now, as we're going to be able to see here. We do know we talked about the Rampage, Quang, and the Richter last time.
It's the
Definitely,
trifecta.
yeah, the trifecta. Definitely going to see those characters either being picked up first or banned here. Or we might see just a little bit of a different of a comp being played by these teams as we wait for this first ban to come out here. I'm thinking the Richter is probably going to be the first ban.
Nope, it's going to be the
Oof.
Quang, but maybe the Richter will be the first band of Rocket Rookies. So it's still a possibility.
Still a
It was definitely
possibility.
doing its thing, but it's going to be Rampage again. Well, then we get
Yeah.
the Richter pickup again. Is it going to be the same thing? Yes, it
Yep.
is. Of course. I mean, look, come on. Let's just skip through the first phase next time. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
We did get the Decker pickup as the first pick for the other team the first time around. Let's see if we can get that going again, because Decker would be normal. Bellica makes sense. Did do pretty well. Don't mind the Bellica at all. I do think that's a solid pickup. Whether it's going to be in support or mid lane, that is now still the question, of course, because that is the flexibility that the Bellica offers versus picking the Decker.
Yeah, I can agree with you there, especially with the Richter as well. That's what you kind of tend to see with these first couple picks. It's kind of just somebody being able to be flexed. Same as with the Sevarog, can be in the jungle, even though we have not seen him in the jungle really inside of this Fangbooth
In
this
theory, he
series.
can.
In theory, he can. But with that being picked up, it looks like they're trying to go for a mirror matchup or a run it back on this next game number 2 to be like, you know what, you guys really didn't win that. We kind of just let you have it. Now let's really show out.
I do see the potential for like a Gideon or something to come through in the mid lane for Rocket Rookies. Now that they don't have to necessarily pick the Decker as a support, you could see a Narbash come through as well instead of the Decker. They did seem to like playing with tankier CC frontline heavy gameplay, which imports backpack just exploited in a way. But if that is their
Yeah.
play style, it could very well still go that way, just with a little bit of a different lineup in terms of utility.
Definitely a possible route for them to go to, as we do see though the same first 5 picks here. Drongo just being an absolute unit. The double silence coming out of import backpack again, as Tang would like to call that the library team comp in that dual lane. But Howitzer once again on the Wangle. Shh, the good old shush. Howitzer coming in once again. We saw Wangle just have an absolutely great game with the Howitzer last game as well. So that's going to be very exciting to see if he can do that one more time.
Yeah, the Wangle Howitzer is just a classic combo. We get the Chimera though from Rocket Rookies. That's new. That's the one. That's something we haven't seen from them before. It's a new pick. The 6th one is finally the charm to go into the second ban phase. Well, we do now have to think, of course, about Import's backpack. They still need probably a solo laner and a jungler. That's probably what we're looking at for them. So Rocket Rookies has the ability to, foil their plans either way. And Rocket Rookies are looking for the ADC and support most likely, but maybe ADC and mid laner, because Bellica, of course, that flex pick that they could put in both places, and there was not a real problem with Bellica mid lane last time.
No, not too much at all. Actually, just had a lot of good plays. Just unfortunate events just kind of playing out. But the Decker ban.
I think that's a bit of a throwaway of a ban right there. I don't think that's the one they needed to deny on import backpack side.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it, because the also can just be having a Decker support, Richter as a jungler. That's just not a good day for a dual lane at all. But do you see the Gideon ban coming out though on the side of Import's backpack? Howie does not want to play against that. I think that's a good pickup and matchup there. Good ban for Import's backpack.
For sure, yeah, and gonna get the Revenant. Ooh, it's a spicy one. Didn't see too much of the Revenant, but I've been saying it a couple of times now. If you think your dual lane or your ADC is better than the other ADC, Revenant is a really good pickup, because then you don't have to worry that much about all the other factors. You just take the ADC away with you into the Netherrealm, kill him, and you're done. And you don't have to worry about your safety anymore. It doesn't always work out that way, but it is a fun thing to think about. And there we get the Seraph. Instant gratification.
Yeah, Seraph, one of those junglers that just kind of, if not left unattended and allowed to just get even a slight lead, can just potentially start to 1v2, 1v3 with the mobility coming out of her, and just the ability just to kind of just reset her ultimate on like takedowns is just one of those abilities that is just huge when it comes to like having those longer sustained fights if she's able to survive.
Very similar to the way that Feng Mao was able to put pressure on the Rocket Rookies last time around. So yeah, very much fitting the play style. Not going for the Feng Mao again, and this time they are picking up the steal for themselves. So that looks like we indeed had the Richter going to the support lane. Steal could go there too. But it does feel like the Drongo Richter, that silence combo, the library shush is just, it's so iconic. It worked out decently for them that is very much a thing. But this is the real one that we're waiting for. This is the honestly, it's been, I don't remember casting a Fae game F6. I don't remember it. I think that's how long it's been. That's also how rare it is. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's actually one of those things where Rocket Rookies, this is what Rocket Rookies, in my mind, is all about. It's like when you least expect it, that's when they do something you don't expect, which is, of course, the whole point. But yeah, the
Well, I
Fae.
mean, not a lot of people though notice that the phase is a good counter towards the howitzer. So this is
Yeah.
actually a really strong pickup for Rocket Rookies.
hmm I like it. I wanna see the Fae do well this game. And I do think they have the opportunity to take something out. It's a very different draft for a set of Rocket Rookies than they had last time around. Whereas I
Mhm.
do think Import's backpack hasn't strayed too far from what they were doing. Their solo lane is looking a little less for the damage, a little more for the tank and the sustain, so a little more frontline versus what the Greystone was doing, which was more like a backline jumper almost.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Rocket Rookies are definitely throwing it around a different corner. The Revenant, Fae, more control for your ADC to go for the duels. The Fae more aggressively countering and controlling fights versus the Howitzer. And then Bellica on the support, like they are looking a little bit more. It looks like they have more teeth, I think, is what I'm looking at, rather than just a lot of brawn.
Definitely agree with you there, Mana Class. But as we get ready to go to game number 2, definitely to see how this plays out. Let us know in Twitch chat who you guys are thinking is going to be Import's backpack to get game number 2 to close out this series to be the third place team. Or can Rocket Rookies start this reverse sweep that they need to get this title of at least getting a somewhat of a prize going into this match?
Yeah, I think either way, whatever happens with this game, this should just be a fun one to watch. Like regardless of who wins, and then whether if it's a map 3, I mean, obviously we will love going for a map 3. Like as much as we like to stay neutral, we just want to have more games. So map 3, please. Um, but regardless of that, I mean, Revenant, Fae, like we don't get to see them all that often, especially not on the same team, and especially not in a setting like this. So I'm all for it. Rocket Rookies, you have my support. I'm gonna try and keep it neutral. Still.
We appreciate that as we look into this standard kind of 5 point start. Nothing really aggressive, just more of a defensive measure, making sure there's no deep vision being thrown out inside of each other's jungle. But we do see that Import is able to pick up the steal and not the Richter in this as he's versed that Chimera. He's going to have a little bit of a slower pace. Correct me if I'm wrong here, man, in class with this matchup.
Uh, Nah, I don't think you're wrong. I mean, are you ever wrong, F6? Let's be real. Are you ever wrong?
True, 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 true.
We do get a little bit of a jungle posture here. With the
Oh,
Riplash, they get countered on.
correct, right away, just trading blows one after another. And as both now, Samwise and Julie with low health bars, gonna have to be careful in this duel lane. Might potentially see an early gank coming out, but even in the mid lane, the fight has already started and the trading is there.
Oh, they don't want to stop a duel lane. You see those characters moving to each other. Gak and Samwise now both missing a little bit of health. But Gak doing so much damage in this early game already. It's the danger of the Revenant. And there is Import with the Bull Rush. Gets the elimination. No CC onto Gak. So they're probably going to be able to get out. Nope, they're not. That's a duel.
Man,
That's a duel kill, straight up.
the level 2 gank coming out of nowhere. Import being able to
Wow.
pick up 2 within 2 minutes. And so far, this is just starting out rough, but we see Ink on the rotation towards
No
Nitro
way Nitro gets out.
inside of this his off lane. I mean, we think he can't, but maybe he will. He does uses the iframes here, uses the blink, chase after one another, but can he get out on this? And now he's not going to be able to. Blink for blink, though, on that side. Simmy goes hard with 1 HP in the Dream, has the first nettle. Is he going to be able to hit?
He missed the basic!
Wangle! It's able to actually hit his autos, and that is the third kill, fourth overall of the game. This is getting bloody fast.
I mean, Rocket Rookies was clearly trying to force the issue, but they didn't get what they wanted on that dual lane, and everything started unraveling from there. Same thing in the mid lane, actually, trying to force that issue, getting the elimination on the Wangle, just overstepping, missing that one ability, and that's the beauty of Predecessor. You don't get to auto anything. You need to hit your shots, and that is going to be a very different story. You can't just target a character, and whenever your ability comes up, hit them. It's not that easy. Skill coming through here.
Skill definitely needs to be applied. 1 for 1 though, but as we see now, back into I want to say lull state to try and get a little bit of farm, but it's kind of just risky as we see Sam now getting aggressive. Seismic Assault and the Whiplash misses. So another couple seconds before anything is going to be going back at each other in this dual lane. Wangle back in the mid lane, looking, waiting, doesn't want to be caught out as he knows the Fae is kind of waiting for him. As Simmy actually taking a flank on top of the stairs here, and is going to actually trade into Wangle. It's not going to be as much as he wanted to. They're not going to get a counter out. Do see, as on the other side though, Sevarog has that advantage as Import is creeping into this river. Maybe have to go after Simmy here. If Simmy messes up and steps up a little bit too much, one Howie mine and might be it. As the stun and the CC goes off, the Howie might actually misses and not close enough, and that's going to be thwarted out with a little bit of a juke.
Simmy says it only takes 2 to tango. Well, there are 3 of us here, but still managed to step aside. Nice pas de deux. Now we'll be able to get further on and live their life as the Fae. I mean, they probably should back a little bit just to get their health back, but get some help from the Chimera mid lane at least.
Yeah, Chimera being able to at least get a somewhat of a counter gank there to kind of help with that pressure. Nitro inside the off lane is going to kind of just be trying to fight into him. But here we go. Seismic Assault stops Gak from getting pressured out by Juli and Zeyn. I was just going to have to wave the white flag. But we do want to talk about the matchup with Seraph versus the Sevarog here. How does that play?
Well, I mean, we thought Serath was going to go into the jungle, right? Like, we thought we're going to get another, like, Feng Mao replacement, essentially. But it's going to be the steal into the jungle. So it's a very different matchup than anyone might have been expecting on the side of Rocket Rookies. It's sort of the same thing as it always is versus Sevarog. Like, you have that aggression and the damage versus the sustain that has to scale. So Nitro should be able to put more pressure on, except when they're being pressured back by a jungle gank. So far, Nitro should be like ahead. They should be able to just bully Tarkraf a little bit more and be able to take that lead. And as with most solo laners against the Sevarog, if you don't have that lead, there is a problem. So Nitro being ahead right now, being able to bully Tarkraf exactly where it needs to be. That matchup's going to change, of course, to later game where you just cannot eliminate that Sevarog no matter how hard you try. But right now, they're just gaining the control. Once again, a nice mind sidestep from Simmy, as they are still getting chased down by Wangle, but Wangle not able to get the last hit this time.
Not able to, but he's able to get a lot of pressure in that mid lane. As we do see Import, though, looking over to the red side jungle, sees the Chimera, chooses to back off. Still waiting on that level 6 on the junglers. We did see that Making It Rain come out from Howie to be able to kind of just force Faye to back up as he's trying to get pressure. But needs to be careful, as we do see a lurking Chimera. Might be able to get a pounce on the Faye. Fly Trap actually hits, but the blink comes out of Wangle to save the day. That was almost deadly for another member of Import Backpack.
But now they know next time they can't do that because there's no blink anymore. So at least that's a win. Take that. Not the elimination, but you take the blink removal. And both of them are sitting at low mana, low health, so they have to be careful. And nothing weird will happen for a little bit as the river buffs come back up. But dual lane, again, Gek and Samwise do not want to stop pressuring this, and rightfully so. I mean, they get to pressure.
I mean, why wouldn't you, right? But we still see Chimera once again looking towards this mid lane, maybe possibly on this Q camp. But with the fact that Import is here, he might not allow that to happen. It looks
Legend.
like he's going to clear his red buff a little bit quicker than that Chimera is going to be able to think. But he goes to his
He doesn't
5
see it.
give,
I don't think he
actually.
noticed.
He did not notice at all. So that is a free 2 camp going towards Ink.
Import listening to music instead of to the game, so he didn't hear the Chimera near him. That's a problem. I think that sound cue reaches there. I think you should be able to hear that. Either way, maybe Zeyn is just shouting too hard. I don't know. Just
Maybe that is a
overpowering with
thing.
the voice. Yeah.
But as you look at his import, it's trying to sweep over inside this right side. Actually, it's going to take a pause frame because Steel is actually dancing, and this is a nice move from
Nice
him to
move.
go.
Nice cross step. Yeah. I do. But the thing is, I do like the Chimera playing that aggressively on the left side in the jungle because not just of the denying import any of the jungle control of themselves or denying them some minions, but it's also
Mhm.
creating the vision for your dual lane to be able to play aggressively without having to worry about import just bull rushing in every time. Like you don't even need wards. You just have Chimera looking at where import is the entire time, which means it's not just when import's coming, but you also have your Chimera assisting, and it will turn into a 3v3 rather than just a simple gank. So I do like the aggression in that situation, even though it hasn't worked out successfully just yet. It is definitely going to lead to more confidence on the side of Rocket Rookies.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more there. As we're taking a small little break, as we know, the replay mode right now is kind of figuring out its life. And as we're gonna get that right back up for you in a second. But as we saw, though, we saw import and the Chimera kind of just sitting inside that Fangtooth River, kind of waiting for that to come back on up. It was really close. It's roughly around just about to spawn in the next 30 seconds. So looking to maybe get some type of control, maybe if able to get a kill inside the dual lane, able to maybe possibly do that. But with those quick cooldown timers, though, it's going to be a little bit more rough for them to get a quick one off if able to.
There we go. Back into the game. We are, as we have back vision in towards everybody that is running around the map. Import still next to this dual lane will not be able to gank anybody because they're under their tower. They're just chilling. Gak and Samwise not in any threat whatsoever at the moment. Backed off as soon as their Chimera went back to space. Import's backpack still leading with that 4-1, of course. They're starting to look more towards the Fangtooth now. They already got the wards in the pit, whereas Rocket Rookies has no vision control in the
Uh-oh.
jungle, but they have hero control. They're walking in.
They're walking in indeed as they're trying to hunt down, maybe love to get something, but unable to. Import almost got caught out, sitting there inside that blue side jungle. But nice little reset being able to be taken. Nitro putting this pressure on top of Tarkraf Requiem here. Looks like Krefraf kind of has the advantage, but with one little swipe of the wings, changes that into Nitro's favor.
SimmyGoesHard once again being pressured by Wangle. Doesn't have to sidestep the mine this time because it just puts them on their own high ground, but still a lot of pressure coming out from that howitzer. And I mean, you were saying it before, right? Like Faye versus howitzer, not a bad matchup. It's actually a pretty good matchup for Faye, but Wangle just so good on that howitzer that it doesn't matter to them. They're still ahead.
Yeah, I mean, when you're just better, Wangle just wants to be better at this moment as we see him rotating over towards Nitro, as Nitro is able to ascend and land on the rift here. But with Tarkov here, he's in a bad position. There's not too much that he can do,
Oh
and he's gonna be dead to rights,
no.
as that is another kill going towards Import's backpack. But with Chimera on that Fangtooth, luckily they can be able to trade for this.
I kind of thought Tarkraf was maybe going to have himself denied by the tower or something, but I think they would not have. The timing was off. They would have still been counted as elimination, anyways. It is Rocket Rookies going for the Fangtooth, though, and that's the first time they might actually get one in this series so far. SimmyGoesHard, though, being shield slammed, being engaged upon, and they will be the little slow mines that eventually get him, the grenades that come out. But the Fangtooth has been picked up, and Rocket Rookies can stick that one in their back pocket because they say, well, we finally got one, and we got the first one, too.
Yeah, but that's going to call out for a mini prime trade. We do know the Chimera's on that side of the map, but is he going to be able to contest that? It doesn't look like as he goes towards his 2 camp. We do see the rest of Import's backpack coming over as they kind of just set that last Fangtooth for free, understanding that they didn't really have the position to be able to take it. So as we now see that, or Prime, Mini Prime actually, excuse me, is going towards Nitro here. And with the pressure he's already had inside this lane, with this buff, he's going to be able to put a lot more pressure inside of that off lane.
Yeah, that should be the deciding factor in getting a proper lead on that solo lane. Especially look at that tower almost being down. This is like the push they need to take it, and Tarkraf doesn't even want to go back to their lane. They're just gonna chill in mid lane for a little bit, try and get Wangle
Oh,
down, and they do. That's a 3-on-1. Samwise and Simmy combined for the blow up. That's your support helping you out. And now they've got a pretty good position in mid and a leading position for Gak in the dual lane too. So they are looking pretty good on the side of Rocket Rookies after that Fangtooth gain. It's just Nitro that's a bit of a problem potentially, but maybe not in a 2v1.
maybe not. Call the call comes out, and now it's a 2v1. Sarah's trying to get away, ascending into the heavens, but here comes Import. Might possibly be able to turn this around, and here's that reinforcement that they need. And with the big man here, they're going to possibly look to turn this fight around. They're still in the hunt. InkLegend looking low. Shield Slam just a little second away. Nitro goes on in, able to clean that kill up, and it is not over. He's looking for blood. He's looking to get that double. Tarkraf has to slither, but with the Shield Slam completely, oh man, it looks like it missed there. But as we just take a quick second to trying to figure out if replay mode is going to work with us,
It
man,
was a nice
Nitro
dodge from
there.
Tarkraf though. Like he did actually sidestep it again, did a pretty good job. But yeah, the turnaround from Import just being there in the jungle, it's once again, it's vision, it's rotations, and Rocket Rookies, they're starting to initiate, they're starting to make their moves, they're starting to make decisive action to get eliminations. It just is not always working out for them, but it's getting better. They are definitely moving up in the world of Predecessor, as we say.
Yeah, moving up indeed. But man, that turn of events over onto that side of the offline was just huge. Great little sidestep though there at the end, it looks like. But we're definitely have to figure out if Tarkov is able to continue to escape, as we did see more numbers rotating off into the offline. But with that said, though, Import's backpack has a substantial lead going into, I believe it's 7-2. Have that mini
Something like
prime,
that.
but Westbrook rookies do have that first Fang too. But here we get this replay once again. Import able to just keep applying that pressure, forces a colossal blow, only hits one, and as now Tarkov is running away. We
Look at
do
the
know the
shield
shield
slam
slams coming out
being
here,
dodged indeed.
but does the
Nice
blink
blink.
comes out? But now that Faye is here though, Simmy is trying to look to clean up Nitro, but can the fight trap be there? And it
As the
is, but
ults.
is it enough? One more auto attack, unable to hit. Can the nettle hit? And there it goes. But with that being said, Import is going to have to be on the run as well. But here comes the run. Yep. And he's going to be able to get away just sneakily on a buy.
Yeah, that Faye with the sneaky take damage that you usually get from them is always a little bit tricky. But Gak did not save their support. They're going to be blowing up. But Gak does a lot of damage now. Gak is not afraid. JuliLatina already falling. They're going to chase down Zeyn. Will not be able to find that elim, but they are still up. Gak is still taking that lead versus JuliLatina as an ADC. Again, it's one of the things they can, I would say, can always rely on, but definitely can in this situation. What they cannot rely on is Tarkraf living in that situation because Wangle just cleans that up after they already knew that Simmy went to that lane. And Simmy, of course, missing their tier 1 tower, has to find a way to get that trade off going soon.
Yeah, I mean, Wangle was just like, hey, you know what? You rotated on to my offlaner. I'm going to do the same thing here. And both able to pick up a kill. But with the second Fang Tooth slowly ticking up to being spawned out, River Dust are down. We are now looking into where the advantage is going to come into play, as we do say that he does not have his tier 1 tower, the Howie boot is to drop down. Simmy goes hard, but so does his health bar when it's going low. Unable to keep the kill pressure on, though, as Wangle just kind of using making it rain to get out of there. But with Tarkov able to rotate now, he needs to be careful, as now it is a 2v1. But there's also another fight called the Kono to there's Import, and this is now a battle on two different planes as the Silence Grade comes out. InkLegend trying to get CC'd out, but away. No, Shield Slam goes towards Gak in the back line, but able to cleanse and get it out. And with both of these fights, there is still no death.
Gak is so healthy still. Like for the invokes they try to put on the Gak, they really haven't lost that much HP. It's already back, honestly, because they're they're an ADC. They'll take that health steal, life steal as much as they can. But Gak just, I don't know, man. It just I feel like that's gonna be the key to this game, where all of a sudden Gak's gonna like 1v3 or 1v4 in some way. And if anything, that again, it could just be the key to their victory. They do have to bolster up a little bit of strength into the solo lane and the mid lane. They have to find a little bit more control there. I think this tier 1 tower is finally going to go down, which is a big boon. But it's also the effect that these players will have in fights. And I think that especially the Fae will be able to do more when they get some more control over their positioning.
I agree with you there. I mean, even with the fake control, especially when he talks about that neutral objective with that huge AoE ult, it kind of just reminds you of the gadget. But we see now the rotation coming out of Import's backpack, trying to funnel
Thank you,
in
time.
over towards this team of Rocket rookies. Only a 5v4 though. And now just doing a little dance, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for one mistake as Steel goes in straight towards the enemy. They still have that T1 up, so not going to try and force anything too much as they now
Tarkraf has arrived.
Tarkraf has arrived indeed, but Julie also forcing the blink out, playing a little bit of the dance. Now this is a 5v5 over on the Fangtooth side of the map. It's only for the second Fangtooth, but everybody's here to play. Tarkraf Requiem able to push through first, and the fog wall has to slither on out, taking a big chunk of his health out of the way as the dance continues.
The Rocket Rookies are really done with having Import's backpack just take objectives for free. They see this happen. They've got a ward there. They know this is going on. They know there's 4 or 5 just in the pit, but how are they going to initiate on this?
There's definitely going to be one pull at a time, but with the big Richter there, the Knife Fire Trap comes out, but the Shield Slam comes out as well, and health bars are just completely erased on the side of Rocket Rookies. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Simmy goes hard, but goes down, and Samwise is left. Gak in the back as well, and they're trying to get out. Sam needs to be careful here, forces the blink, and man, that is a 4 members down for the side of Rocket Rookies.
That was such a combination of Wangle and JuliLatina, and of course, just the Richter being in the way of just AoE tick damage in that little corridor that stairs down towards the pit that did so much damage to a couple of members of Rocket Rookies before they even got close to seeing an enemy or damaging them. And that's health bars that are not going to go back up because there's no Narbash and you don't have any like healing utility like that as a team. So that was a really, really jarring start to that fight. And after that, even the Fly Trap couldn't save them. The Shield Slam did so much to control them. And that's the problem with that Fangtooth pit, or with the Orb Prime pit, really. There's these little corridors that you have to come up through. And if the other team is completely ready to receive you through that choke point, they have so much they can do to you that you cannot do to them. It's once again a situation of Rocket Rookies giving Import's backpack the control of an area that they should either have or not give away that easily.
I mean, let's think about it, right? Let's look at the Team Cup. I mean, they kind of only have one hero that can kind of just poke their head in and have the ability to be safe by using a dash out, right? And that is a Sevrov, and he was a little bit late to the party. And Import's backpack already kind of got there, and they have a little bit more of a front line, being able to fight that front to back. And as you saw in that fight, the Richter was just kind of just face checking, and Import just waiting for any mistake to happen. And once it did, Fly Trap went off, and just a huge Shield Slam came in just to kind of zone everybody in. But you see though, Import looking for something in the back of this T1, but unable to find anything as they're trying to get themselves to make an opportunity to keep this lead going.
A little bit more to try and find more openings, find more eliminations. And again, I mean, I keep saying it, right? Gak just still being ahead, at least in XP, but probably also in gold to Gak. Gak's just doing great. Like, I want to see Gak get more success out of this game than not being able to fight because their team is already dead. And I think they're going to be able to do it. But again, it just all depends on how much the rest of the team either gives away or doesn't find value in. And now there's this gang potentially going to happen on this dual lane. So much pressure on the side of the map right now from Import's backpack. You almost got to wonder why the objective is already gone, but they just wanted to put pressure, I guess, maybe get some boards down.
Yeah, but I mean, Tarkraf Requiem is over here now, so it's not a 4v5. So if any potential subjugate lands, that possibly be it. But using the Shrapnel Blast to get away, and that is going to be a good T2 to go down, because there's going to be a lot of rotation needs to be coming over on this side of the map.
But you're not going to make it. Even if you wanted to, you would not make this rotation in time by the time Nitro got there. So they're going to have to focus and get something on the other side of the map. They got to get some pressure, some elimination, some objective in order to be able to make this worth it. And Nitro not even be able to get the actual tier 2. I thought they were going to be able to. I guess not. No, it didn't have the minions. That is Gak.
No.
That's the power of the Revenants. Just saying, you know what? I don't really care what's going on here. I'm just going to take you into another realm, eliminate you, and that's that.
Epoch does come out though on Wangle as they look to try and get this fight back into place. I wouldn't necessarily put it all on the Revenant. There were 2 other members over there, but I do agree with you that 4 shot hits harder than a truck. And here we go. We see Tarkraf Requiem over on this right-hand side. But with the fact that Import's backpack are just actually at this point, from my understanding, is they're just trying to get these invades off, keeping the Chimera under leveled, keeping pressure inside this jungle. And the more pressure they have inside the enemy's jungle, the better off they are. As you take a look at the scoreboard, slight CS lead going towards Import's backpack.
Yeah, starting to look at the items a little bit as well. Simmy going for the orb, going for the megacosm. It's just all like it's good face stuff. Don't get me wrong, like it just works. I see Wangle going for the combustion instead of the orb because that just works better for what you do on the howitzer. Does mean that the scaling and the growth potential of the Fae is going to be a little bigger than it is for the howitzer, just because of the the stacking nature of the orb. But so that does mean, like, we get to later and later in the game, especially the mid lane is going to get a lot more power. Like that fly trap and the general damage that the Fae will do is going to be off the charts compared to howitzer. Not to scoff at howitzer at all, but that is the nature of that matchup as we usually know it.
Definitely a single target versus AoE burst. Definitely gonna have a little bit more impact, but that Howie mice nothing to kind of scoff at because we do know that can create separation inside of a team fight, especially in these tight corridors when it comes towards fighting inside these neutral objectives. As you do see though, even in the mid lane, they're just kind of in this lull state, waiting for that third Fangtooth to come on up. Nobody just quite comfortable yet to look over at that Ore Prime, even though there's rewards on both teams. But Gak here, waiting for him to shine, but Nitro forces the blink for a blink and now going after it, puts him into the Nether Realm. And I don't know if that's what you want to do and cause the back off. And with a lot of resources down from Gak, that's what Import's backpack wanted.
That's what they wanted. I don't know if it's going to give them exactly what they need, but they're definitely going to just walk into this pit again, it looks like. They're going to do the exact same thing they did last time. We knew how this ended. We knew how this worked, and Wangle is going to throw in a lot of damage in there, but this is the 4-1. Nice Rift Boots coming in, Fly Trap as well. Huge lockdown, a lot of damage going through on both teams. Who's the first to fall? It's going to be Gak. Out of all people, they didn't have the ultimate. Samwise falls as well, and it started out pretty decently. It's falling apart. It's a full team wipe. F6. It was relatively close, but this might be the difference maker.
Definitely a difference maker indeed. They're able to clean up, and that's their RGS ace. Put them on the board, and now they are able to get that third Fangtooth. And with that timer going off, they're going to probably take a reset here and look back over towards this Orb Prime pit. And man, Nitro and pretty much the entire team of Import's backpack were 1 HP in a dream, somehow survived that through sheer luck or skill, whichever one you want to play it onto.
Such a just overwhelming presence there for Import's backpack, getting it away. They're gonna straight go get an objective, then they go into the Orb Prime pit, so they get both really. I mean, at least it wasn't Primal Fangtooth, so you don't get the Primordial Blaze on top of this Orb Prime buff. But Rocket Rookies, they think they might be able to get here in time, or at least capitalize on the aftermath, but it's just Nitro running in with no fear, and they back off instantly.
Nothing that they could really do. They did have their timers, and it does take a while for you to run away. But Tarkraf in a bad position here, forces blink already. But Wangle not allowing the easy retreat, as now the pressure's coming out through this mid lane. We have another 5v5 potential. Nitro taking a little slick back, going towards the left-hand side of the map, being able to maybe do a 4-1 push here, as they do have the advantage. They're trying to use this Ore Prime push because they took a reset already when they had the chance after that Fangtooth fight. So they already have everything they need to do. And now with this push starting to go, who's going to make that first mistake?
Then Wangle with that Caustica and the damage amp as well is going to do so much more damage versus things like Tarkraf now. Like that tank, that health bar almost matters for nothing.
Oh
That's
my
the hook.
God.
Hey, the blow up.
comes out of nowhere, and InkLegend is trying to continue this fight, but I don't think that's what you want to do, bud. And the shield slam comes out. 5-star Fox Splash into the back line, and Samwise is going to nearly escape, but Nitro says he's here, and Wangle blinks in with the aggression to clean up yet another as they continue this fight. Nitro's not done yet as he continues to fight as well. Wangle has to pop that epoch, but Gak with the force shot says no way, Jose. The Rip Flash misses once again, and Gak might be able to turn this fight, but here comes Julie. They're looking to get this pressure out. Middle inhibitor falls. Gak is the last one left. 12 seconds left to go. He needs to do something, but here comes Import. Here comes Nitro. They want this kill, but my, oh my, the shots coming in is just not enough. And that is a full unofficial ace as they do come out on top with Import's backpack.
It's such a annoying thing, right? Like, you had the damage to take down the Seraph, but she just goes into blink mode and you can never catch even the slightest bit of that mace. 23-8. We're 27 minutes in. One inhibitor is down. The next one is soon to follow, and not everybody's alive yet on Rocket Rookies. They don't have Gak around, but Import's backpack doesn't want to finish it off just yet. They want to back off a little bit more, find maybe a minion wave, go for that third inhib, and finish it from there. But not looking good right now for our rookies.
Not at all. We thought they would potentially be able to turn that fight around, but Import's backpack just took a clean fight. They're able to kind of capitalize on everything that they need to. Even though they only have a slight CS lead, it's really these kills that are coming out. It's an action here now as we see Team Import backpack just finishing on their 5th item, but really interesting to see here as we see that Bone Seeker on Nitro here.
Yeah, I mean, Nitro can kind of build whatever they want at this stage, right? Like, we're looking at a lead where if they don't end the game in the next 3 minutes, I'll be surprised personally. And if they don't, then there's a really big chance, or at least a starting chance for Rocket Rookies to come back into this game and, you know, close that gap a little bit more. But right now, you're missing 2 inhibitors, you're behind in objectives, you're just behind in every single sense of the word. So you got to find an opening, you got to find a mistake, you got to find some overconfidence on the side of Import's backpack. And Import's back-to-back really has to make a mistake here for this to go wrong.
They do have to make a mistake, but they haven't been making a lot lately. They've been taking pretty much all these fights into their favor, as the last inhibitor is up, left and standing, but not for long. The Orb Prime is now finished, though. They don't have that advantage towards them. They do have a lead as they look to potentially grab somebody here. Tarkraf has to use the Slither to get away. The 3rd inhibitor falls. Next minion wave has come on up to stop a little bit longer this push that is coming out of Import's backpack. But this is a fight that's inevitable to reach upon to the Rocket Rookies. They need to make a defense here, or Import backpack is going to come out and just kind of win this one. As we do see Tarkov kind of going in with a colossal blow, the Rift Walker, and the double hit. The Fire Trap does land, and they are able to take down one member, but it's a 1-for-1 trade, and it's still going at it. Nitro in a bad position, but oh no, Gak goes down. Import is still low as this fight is going on, but so is InkLegend, and that's a 3-for-2. They're still defending. Zeyn is here, but with that low of HP, one more Netto, and that is it right there. That's a 4-for-3, and the hard defense coming out from Rocket Rookies.
And Simmy and Samwise are going to be so good at just clearing these waves before anyone respawns. They're going to be able to defend this core until their team is back up. This is a win for Rocket Rookies, even though they're still like all inhibitors are down, they're super behind, etc. This is a win. You know, they got a really strong defense. It shows they can do a good defense, and their scaling potential is still bigger than Import's backpack. They don't have much more to grow, other than Zeyn, who's still at level 12. But you know, this is how it works with a Richter support at least. But there's a lot of growth potential still on the side of Rocket Rookies, and we're starting to see how these fights can come together for them. These good initiations, the damage overall, and we're going to start seeing a little bit more sustain as well from them. Simmy now not sustaining that much. The fire comes through, and Nitro does just blow them up like that. Maybe a little too far forward there just yet for comfort, the side of Rocket Rookies, but they're still in it. It's not over just yet.
Not just yet, but the phase down, and that's a huge fly trap. Not able to hit there, but Wangle caught out of position as well. So that's 1-for-1, mage for a mage. And now this is now back to an even fight as we have the same ones left. And Tarkraf is the one that's the target. Gets skewered, CC locked, and just down he goes. InkLegend on their retreat, trying to get out of there. And this Primordial Fang team is looking like to be the prize. Samwise running for his life. But the fact that Nitro is here, you just cannot run, you cannot hide. And that is another one biting the dust, as now Import's backpack with a substantial number count lead.
Look, Rocket Rookies really needed to capture lightning in the bottle, which is very hard to do when you can't get called to the heavens with a Kwong. Nitro just walks onto the core with Import. They're going to put up a barrier, smack away at this core, and I don't think there's going to be another miraculous defense. Nitro, though, does go down.
And they do pick it up. That fly trap was able to save the day to stop the damage from coming out. But here comes the kind of just rehashing out the Import. Just kind of just needed to finish that game there, but another moment yet to live. You didn't think they were able to do it, but they show us once again they are able to pull off another defense.
Another one, and another one comes through. It's again, the defense is not the problem, right? We're waiting for the offense to work out. That is the one part that's still been missing from Rocket Rookies. They're not able to initiate and find eliminations that aren't in their core, and eventually you cannot defend as much as you want. But it is scaling. Again, they're still growing. They're getting bigger. Look at this level 17 Simmy. Look at those items. It's going pretty well. Gak, same thing. Still ahead of JuliLatina somehow. It just speaks all the wonders to the potential of Gak. Is now under fire from Import, though. The CC has been locked.
Locked in, but the fly trap is here to kind of peel away, and Gak's able to do an enormous amount of damage over towards Import, but Gak is only a little bit HP left, but he cleans up a Wangle, and that is a 2-for-1 trade as he does go down. And now JuliLatina in the fray, and that's a 3-for-2. And here comes Rocket Rookies with the defense of a Sentry as they try to continue to stay alive in this game. We see Nitro and Zeyn still left into this fight, going after Samwise, but there is still a Fae here. The damage is still there, but Nitro not losing any health at all, going towards Sam, takes him down. Now it's a 2v2, continuing that pressure into the back line, running after this Fae, not letting her breathe, not letting her go, still going, and one more bites it as Nitro is still healthy, still able for this fight, and that is another one, and that's the RGS saves once again for Import's backpack.
We're gonna have respawns from both the Chimera and from Gak on the Revenant. It's gonna come through before these inhibitors and these minions can get to that core. So whatever happens, whatever that fight was, it is still, I would say it's still a win for Rocket Rookies because they cannot actually push the core with this. And that's all they need for now. They need more time. They need more delay of game. And that is working for them because you see the more these fights happen, the more SimmyGoesHard puts in the damage, the more Gak puts in the damage, the more all of this, the sustain comes through. And the more they need these amazing plays coming out from Nitro, who is at this point pretty much done scaling, to pull out the win, to pull out the victory. So all they can really do now is go for this Primal Fangtooth, which they are going to get. There's almost no reason why they wouldn't. But again, it buys time. It buys potential for Rocket Rookies to bring this back. This game is not over, and we're already at 35 minutes. I said it. They needed to finish it in 3 minutes from when I set that point. I think it's been like 5 or 6 or 7, maybe 8 at this point. It's been too long. It's not a clear victory anymore.
No, it's not. They just continuously just be able to put out that defense, one attempt after another, and they're still alive into this game. We thought this game was going to be over a while ago, but Import is looking low actually in the back line, but Samwise needs to be careful as Nitro, the man, the menace, actually losing a lot of health here as Gak's able to get some damage off, and he's now in this fight. They need to be careful on it. Making a rain comes out tapped. Health bars going down low. InkLegend is the first to fall in this fight, but in the back line, another room is sent, and Gak is able to pick up the Drongo as he's still in the back line. Import's able to get a shield slam to CC lock him down. down, and this is the damage that they needed to get over. And now that's a 2-for-1 trade. Nitro going after Simmy, and these health bars are not it. They are not there to stay and to run the retreat. Oh my goodness, the Rip Blast from out of the blue at extendo range. And that is a 4-for-1 trade as Team Import's Backpack looks to run this down towards the enemy core.
Samwise lives, though. There's still inhibitors in the way. They need to be destroyed before the minions can get there. And the respawn timer isn't super high, especially on InkLegend there, so they can get through. This will definitely lead to inhibitors going down again, so a lot of pressure once again on Rocket Rookies, but they have some time. There's only Wangle that can do a tremendous amount of damage, and Sammy, a little bit too far forward, but it's the fly trap!
It's going to be there, but it's going to be enough. It's not. And yes, we do have the Chimera come back within 2 seconds, but with this Primordial Blaze, the effort is still here. He's the only one left. They have the CC there to stop him from being able to end this, and they're looking like they want to, but they choose
to
dare. Make the retreat.
Just look at those respawn timers.
Once again, the fly trap is able to save the day at 37 minutes. What a game, ladies and gentlemen.
If they tried to end there, like, Gak would have come back online. We see the Pelika come back. That would have been a very hard one to actually finish the game out on. They would probably died if they're lucky. That would have been the only damage they've done. But that would have created a huge opportunity for a numbers advantage push on the side of Rocket Rookies. Now they're going to try and go into this Orb Prime Pit. This could be dangerous. We could see a team fight here, but they really, really want that Faye there. Without Faye, I don't think they can really put up a fight in that pit.
I mean, there's not much. That core is at pretty much 1 HP. And now with this Orb Prime buff, this has to be the last defense of the game. They need to take out this Nitro as he looks to drop a ward. And now with Team Import's Backpack surging their way down these lanes, looking after this left inhib. They're looking down to push the mid as well. It is not active, so they do have the opportunity to just kind of run in there and take it down.
There's also 5 enemies there, so, it's not that easy.
That is true. There's 5 enemies, but as the Orb Prime buff, the minion wave has hit. We're looking for that first initial mistake. We're looking for that first initial impact. As they're trying to make sure they're careful, SimmyGoesHard is here now. The fly trap is once again in there. The misses, but Tarkraf actually gets hit with the chain CC and is locked down, and the big body goes down first. Not what you want to see. Make It Rain goes out on top. Nitro diving on in, not scared of anything at all. They only have 1 minion wave. Nitro needs to be careful as his health bar is dwindling down. He does have that Orb Prime to reset, but he needs to get himself out of combat. And we thought that might be it, but they're still defending. They're still here as InkLegend dives on in. He's trying to be the front liner as this damage comes out on top of Rocket Rookies. But slowly these minion waves are crashing into the core. They don't want to make a mistake because both teams know anything that goes wrong here, this might be the game for them. It might be the losing decision.
The defense here is crazy. I mean, how many people will have pressed the forfeit button like 20 minutes ago? It's not happened yet, and it's not going to happen because Rocket Rookies think they can potentially still pull this back. There's the full push. Another minion wave, but the minion wave is gone. Nitro's just going to try and smack the core to get it down manually that way. They might be able to do it, and they do. Oh, not enough CC in the world could stop a Sarah that stacked. And Nitro pulls out the victory for Import's Backpack, but hard fought is a very big understatement, F6.